Om Shanti, this is Sakar Murli of 10th September 2025. Morning Murli Bapada Madhuban. Essence, sweet children, never have any doubt about the Father who is making you become like a diamond. To have doubtful intellects means to cause oneself a loss. Question: what is the main basis of the passes, the examinations of this study for becoming the deity from human beings? Answer: faith. There has to be courage for the intellect to have a faith. Maya breaks this courage. She makes your intellect into a doubting intellect. While moving alone, if you have any doubt about this study or the supreme teacher who is teaching you, you cause yourself and others a sacred loss. Song: you are the ocean of the love. We thirst for one drop. Om Shanti. Shivbaba explains to you, spiritual children, you children praise the fathers and say you are the ocean of love. He is also called as the ocean of knowledge. Only the one is the ocean of knowledge. The rest are called ignorant, because this is a play about the knowledge and ignorance. Only the Supreme Father, the Supreme Source, has this knowledge. It is with this knowledge that the new world is being established. It isn't that he creates a new world, the world is imperishable. It's just that this whole world is changed and made new. It isn't that analyzations take place, the whole world is never destroyed. This world is old and it is the being changed and made into a new world. The Father has explained that this home is in which you are sitting is old. You know that we will go to that new home. Similarly, old Delhi is now going to be destroyed. A new one will be made to be replaced. Now, how will it be made new? First of all, those who are worthy of staying there are needed. In that new world, there are those who are full of all virtues. You have your aim and the objective in schools too. There is an aim and objective. Those who study understands what they are going to become. I will become a surgeon or I will become a barrister. You understand that you have come here to change from ordinary humans into a deities. No one sits in the schools without having an aim and objective. However, this school is so wonderful that while understanding the aim and objective and studying, some then leave this study. They start thinking that this study is wrong, that is not their aim and objective, that can never happen. They also develop a doubt about the one who is teaching them. Sometimes in worldly studying, when students don't have enough money to study or they don't have courage, they leave their study. You wouldn't say that the knowledge of to become a barrister is wrong, or that the one who is teaching it is the wrong. Here, human beings have wonderful intellects. Because you develop a doubt about this study, you said that this study is wrong, that God isn't teaching it, that you cannot claim a kingdom, etc. That these are all lies. By thinking in this way, many children have left this study. Everyone would say you claim that God was teaching you, through which humans beings change into a deities. What happens then? You say, no, it was all lies. You said that you can't understand the aim and objective. There were some who were studying with the faith. Then, as soon as they started to have doubts, they stopped studying. How did they have faith and who then put doubts into their intellects? Edward, he said that if that person had still been studying, he could have a claim a high status. Many continue to study. While studying to become a barrister, some drop out halfway, whereas others continue to study to become a barristers. Some study and pass, whereas others they then attain a low status. This is important examinations. You need a lot of courage to pass it. First, you need to have courage for your intellects to have faith. Maya is such that one minute you have faith, the next minute you have doubtful intellects. Many come here to study, but some have dull intellects. They pass number-wise. A list is printed in the newspapers too. It is the same here. Many come here to study, some have good intellects and others have dull intellects. Because they have dull intellects, they develop doubt and leave. Then they cause harm to others too. It is said those who have doubtful intellects are lead to destructions. They cannot claim a high status if you have a faith but don't study fully. You cannot pass because your intellects are of the no use. You would be unable to imbibe this knowledge. You forget that you are souls. The Father says, I am the Supreme Father of you souls. You children know that the Father has come. Some experience many obstacles and thereby develop doubt. Then says, I don't have a faith in such and such a teacher. No matter what the Brahman's teachers are like, you should still study. If your teacher doesn't teach you well, you might think of freeing her from the teaching you. But you still have to study. This is the Father's study. The Supreme Teachers is the teaching you, the Brahman's teachers to give his knowledge. Therefore, you have to pay attention to this study. Unless you study, you will be unable to pass the examination. However, if your faith is in the Father's is broken, you stop studying. While studying, if you started to have any doubts about the teachers to the Vedas, you will receive a certain status through him or not. You stop studying. You then also spoil it for others. When you cause defamations, there is a more harm done. A huge loss is experienced. The Father says if anyone's committed a sin here, he has to experience a 100-fold punishment, because that one would become an instrument to spoil many others. To whatever extent you had to become a charitable source, you would then become a sinful source. You become a charitable source through this study. Only the one Father make you into a charitable source. If some are unable to study, there is definitely something not right. They then says, whatever is in my fortune, so what can I do? It is as true they have heart failure. Those who come here and die are living death, then go back to living death in the Raman's kingdom. They are unable to make their lives like a diamond. When human beings have a heart failure, they take another birth. Here, when they have heart failure, they go to the Dalvish community. This is your birth of the dying alive. You come here to belong to the Father in order to go to the new world. Souls will go there. When souls renounce the consciousness of this body, it is understood that I am soul conscious. I am the one thing and my body is something else. A soul leaves one body and takes another. Therefore, each soul must definitely be to be separated entity. You souls understand that you are establishing heavens in a Bharat by following Srimad. The art of changing humans into deities has to be learned. You children have been told that there is no other company of the truth. Only the one Supreme Father is the truth. His name is Shiva and he alone established the Golden Age. The period of the Iron Age definitely has to come and end. How the cycles of the whole world runs is very clear in the pictures of the cycle. In order to become a deity, you belong to the fathers at the confluence age. If you leave the father, you end up in the Iron Age. If someone has doubt about being in Brahmans, he goes and becomes a part of the Shudra's clan. In that case, he cannot become a deity. The fathers also explains how the foundations are being laid for the establishment of the heaven. There is first the foundation ceremony and then the opening ceremony. Here everything is indigo. You know that you are getting ready to go to the heaven. There will be then no mentions of the hell. You definitely have to study for as long as you live until the end. Only the one Father who purifies you is the purifier. You children now understand that this is the confluence age when the Father comes to purify you. You should write it is that this most elevated confluence age that ordinary humans change into Narayans. It is also written that this is your godly birthright. The Father is now giving you divine visions. The soul knows that this cycle of 84 has now come to an end. The Father sits here and explains to souls. The soul is steady, but he still becomes a body conscious again and again because there has been body consciousness for a half of cycle. Therefore, it takes time to become a soul conscious. The Father is sitting here and you have been giving time. The lifespan of the Brahma is said to be 100 years or it could be less. However, if Brahma were to leave, it doesn't mean that establishments would not take place. You, the army, are still sitting here. The Father has given you that mantra. You too have to study. It is in your intellects how the world cycles runs. You have to stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance. It is by having remembrance that your sins will be absorbed. On the path of devotion, you have all been performing sinful acts. The two globes of the old and new worlds are in front of you. You can write that to the old world, the kingdom of the Raman, and the victory to the new world. The path of this knowledge, the kingdom of the Rama. Those who were worthy of being worshipped have become a worshippers. Shri Krishna was a beautiful and worthy of being worshipped. However, later on he became an ugly worshipper in the Ravan's kingdom. It is easy to explain this. When worshipping first began, they created a huge diamond lingam. It was most valuable because the Father had made you so wealthy. He himself is a diamond, therefore he also makes our souls become like diamonds. You should make diamond's image of him and keep that. A diamond is always placed in the center. In the comparisons, an emerald, etc. would not be as valuable. This is why a diamond is placed in the center. 8 jewelers are made into a beads of the rosary of victory by him. The most value is given to the diamond. All the rest become otherwise. It is Shivbaba who makes you this. No one of these can be experienced by anyone but the Father. While studying, some are amazed at this knowledge. They says, Baba, Baba. Then they leave. Once you call Shiv Baba, Baba, never leave him. Otherwise, it would be sad to be your fortune. Those who don't have much in their fortune will perform such acts that they receive 100-fold punishment. In order to become a charitable soul, you have to make effort. Then, when you commit sins, that sins becomes a 100-fold. You then become a mind kids. You can't grow. Because 100-fold punishment is added, your stage doesn't become a powerful. Why should you have any doubt about the Father through whom you become like diamonds? If you leave the Father for any reasons, you will be called the most unfortunate souls. Whenever you may be living, you have to remember the Father and you will then be liberated from the punishment. You come here to become a pure from impure. Because you have to perform a certain types of acts in the past, you have a lot of suffering through your bodies. You are now being liberated from that for a half of cycle. Check yourselves to see what extents you are progressing and serving others. You can write at the top of the pictures of the Lakshmi and Narayan. This is the kingdom of the peace in the world and it is now being established. This is your aim and objective. There is a 100% purity, peace and happiness. There is no other regions in their kingdom, therefore all regions that exist now definitely be destroyed. Great wisdom is needed to experience these things. Otherwise, you experience according to your stage. Sit in front of the pictures and think about all of these things. They have all been explained to you. Since you have understood them, you have to explain them to others. This is why Baba inspires you to open museums. Gateway to Heaven is very good name. Those are the Delhi Gate and the Indian's Gate. This is the gate to heaven. You are now opening the gates to heaven. People have become a lot just as confused on the path of devotions as they do in the maze. No one can find the way out. Everyone has become trapped in the kingdom of the Maya. The Father has now come to release you from that. Some don't want to be released. So what can the Father do? This is why the Father says, if you want to see the most unfortunate ones, sees those who stop studying here, they have to doubtful intellects and kill themselves for many births. This happens when their fortune becomes spoiled. When there are bad omens, then instead of being beautiful, they become ugly. It is an indigo souls who studies. Souls do everything through their bodies. Souls cannot do anything without bodies. It takes effort to consider yourselves to be souls. When you don't have the faith that you are soul, you become a body conscious. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long last, now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bab-Dada, the spiritual father says Namaste to spiritual children. The spiritual children say Namaste to spiritual father. Essence for Dharna 1. The teachings taught by the Supreme Teachers changes from the human beings into Nara. Have this faith and pay full attention to this study. Don't see teachers who is teaching you. 2. Make effort to become a soul conscious since you have died a living death. Let go of all consciousness of your body. Become a charitable soul. Don't perform any sinful acts. Blessings, may you be filled with all treasures and constantly experience your stage of perfections by having the awareness of spinning the discus of the self-realizations. Those who are constantly spinning the discus of the self-realizations remain free from the many types of spinning of the Maya. The one discus of the self-realizations finishes all wasteful spinning. It chases Maya away. Maya cannot stay in front of such souls because children who are spinners of the discus of the self-realizations are constantly full. They remain unshakable. They experience themselves to be full of all treasures. Maya tries to empty them, but they are constantly critics, alert and ignited the lights, and so Maya is unable to do anything to them. Those who are guards of attention stay alert and constantly safe. Slogan: make your words very powerful with the pure and elevated feelings merged in them. Awake signal, now ignite the fire of love and make your yoga volcanic. In order to have a powerful remembrance, your love must come from an honest heart. Those who have honest heart are able to become a point in a second and able to remember Baba, the point, because of the pleasing the Lord with their honest hearts. Such souls claim a special blessings from the Father, with which they are easily able to stabilizing in the thoughts of one. They will experience a remembrance in the volcanic form and spread powerful vibrations everywhere. Acha, Om Shanti.